Hi guys, and welcome to the show Mara, and today we're looking at the Nike Pegasus 38 versus the Asics Cumulus 23. So first things first, let's compare the weights.
What you're looking at is 309, which is a good weight for an everyday trainer. Now, the difference between the Nike and the Asics is minimal, as you'll see, because the Asics comes in at around 311, 312, maybe 313, depending, and it's very little in the difference.
Very little to choose between the weights of the shoe, so let's look at the outsole rubber next. So you have AHAR plus on the heel and AHAR on the forefoot. In the Asics, that's Asics high abrasion rubber, so the plus on the heel for harder wear, whereas Nike are using up to 20% recycled materials in the rubber on the outsole, so that's a positive as well. Now both are very good materials, so they wear quite well, so there's very little between the two shoes there either. In the Asics you have a one layer engineered mesh upper, and it's quite thick and feels very durable, whereas in the Nike it's a twin layer. You can feel there's two layers of mesh, give it that added bit of durability. So I think the Nike is slightly better there in regards how strong the upper is. Okay, the next thing then to look at will be the tongue. Now they improved the tongue in the Nike from the 37, made it thicker and plusher, which it is, but the Asics tongue is that noticeably thicker and plusher than the Nike tongue. So the Asics tongue is giving me more comfort. So the Asics is slightly better with that guy there, okay? Asics tongue is a regular tongue, it's not gusseted, whereas the Nike tongue is a semi-gusseted tongue, so I have that sock-like feel under the lacing. Heel cups next. So as regards the stoutness, the Nike is a much softer, the Asics is much firmer, more stout heel cup. They come up in around the same height at the back of the foot, but if you're somebody who's using an orthotic or an insert in your shoes, the Asics would work better being a firmer, stouter heel cup if the orthotic will sit in more securely into the shoe, okay? The Nike is that little bit softer, okay? The laces in the shoe, there's very little between them. There's plenty of lace on both shoes. No problems. With some brands you might find that the lace might be a little bit short. If you're wanting to lock lace, you mightn't have enough lace, and then you have to fidget with the lace. But with both of these shoes, there's plenty of lace there. That's not an issue at all. So the cushion system in both, so you have your Air Zoom and your React foam in the Nike, and then you have your gel heel cup with gel under the first metatarsal here, and your flight foam through the midsole in the Asics. Now, if you read up, you'll see people saying that the Asics is supposed to be softer, but I actually find the Nike Frost softer. And the reason for that is that I'm a midfoot striker, and I'm landing right on the middle of that Zoom AirPod in the forefoot. What I really noticed when I ran in the Asics shoe is the protection that it does give the heel with the gel heel cup. So somebody who's a heel striker, and you're talking the majority of people heel strike, you're talking 80% to 85% of people heel strike, will appreciate the landing in the Asics compared to the Nike. I really noticed the safety in the Asics in regards to heel when I was running at slower speeds. But when I was running at faster speeds, much prefer the feel of the Nike. But even at slower speeds, I would still land in around midfoot. Um, when I walk in the Asics, I can feel the support and the cushion an awful lot more in the Asics. So for me, that's the difference. So if you're a heel striker, I think the Asics will be a better choice. If you're a midfoot striker, the Nike will be a better choice here. So stack heights and drops, both are 10mm drop shoes. Now the Asics is a 23 to 13, and the Nike is 28 to 18. So there's a bit more juice or bounce underneath you in the Nike. Fit in both shoes, I would find to run through the size. So I'm usually a size 9 UK, got size 9 in this guy, got size 9 in this guy, and I find both give me plenty of room. Could run 20 miles in both, no problem. So size wise for me, I didn't have to go to the 9.5 to accommodate myself. Width wise, now the 38 is slightly wider than 37, and I would feel that really nice. I like that little bit of width in the ball of the foot, to let my toes flex and move around a little bit in the shoe. Whereas in the Asics, the newer models of the Asics, they're not as pointed here. They're coming more of a bell shape, so they are slightly wider here, where I like it. Now, older models of Asics will be a narrower fit. But the newer models in the last maybe 2 years, they've been slightly broader, not massively, but they're getting closer to say a Nike or a Brooks fit. So perfectly happy with the size 9 in the Asics as well. So durability wise, traditionally Asics will be viewed as a very durable brand, whereas Nike would be a little bit more fly by night kind of brand, a little bit glitzy and a little bit more glamorous than your Asics counterpart. Now the changes that Asics have made over the last couple of years by using less AHR on the outsole to make the shoe lighter and giving you more flex grooves, have, in my opinion, reduced the durability of the shoe. The flight foam then is not as durable as the gel. Same thing going back to changing the weight, trying to make the shoe lighter. Now there's a €20 difference between these shoes. You're talking a 120 and a 140 shoe. In my opinion, I reckon you get the same amount of miles out of both shoes. We'll have to see as we go along, as I use the shoes, to see how they stand up. We'll come back and look at 100-mile reviews and further on reviews as well. But looking at the shoes here now, just having them in my hand, like I find the upper in the Nike is that thicker, more stronger. So a lot of people, they'll find that they'll have a toe coming through at a certain point in a shoe. Asics are renowned for that, but they're always trying to develop their uppers to try and prevent that. But it'll be interesting to see for me if my toe comes through in this Asics. But I don't think it's going to happen in the Nike. You can feel it. It's really durable feel to it. Value for money, I'm thinking the Nike is better value for money if you're on a budget. You get people who are their Asics to the core. They've always ran an Asics and will stick with Asics, and I'm sure they'd be very happy with the Cumulus 23. It is a lovely shoe. It's a very comfortable shoe. It's nice to run in. But for me, the Nike is just tipping it. Okay.
There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. I will link the single reviews for both shoes here now. If you enjoyed what you're seeing on the channel, it'd be great if you like, share and subscribe.